Do you have the gift of gab and like talking about interesting topics? Are you often called opinionated by your friends and family? Then come to Anchor where you can be all of the above and get paid for it. Along with being one of the easiest systems to create contact with, Anchor supplies everything you need and can be used from your smartphone or computer. They even distribute your content for you so that you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Just download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Hello, family. This is Anjanette Potter, also known as Adam's Rib, and this is day 2. I'm going to say posting 2 because I'm running a little bit late on my postings, only a day late, but I don't want to I'm trying to do 2020 vision and be more and step up my game when it comes to my posts. So this is posting 2 out of 29 days of Black feminism. So the young lady that I'm going to be talking about is an African feminist named Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Miss Adichie is a Nigerian writer. She was born September 15, 1977, so that makes her 42 years old. So she writes novels, short stories, and nonfiction. She is a graduate of Eastern Connecticut State University. That's where she did her undergrad, so she has a BA from there. She has an MA, which is a Master of Arts from Johns Hopkins University. She also has a Master of Arts from Yale University. So I'm going to mention a few of her well-known works. So the first book I'm going to mention is called We Should All Be Feminists. And this is going to be very important for this post. Now, that was published in 2014. She was awarded a MacArthur Fellowship, a Genius Grant, in 2008. A more recent book of hers is called Welly, or a feminist manifesto and 15 suggestions, which was published in 2017. If you remember that last part, you probably will be able to find it if you want to look it up. Miss Adichie was born in Enugu, Nigeria. She's the fifth of 6 children. She grew up under the Igbo culture. Igbos are native Nigerians. I'm thinking that's the name. They still subscribe to tribes. That may be her tribe, maybe the tribal name. In the university town of Suku, Enugu, which, like I said, based in Nigeria. Her father is a professor of statistics at University of Nigeria. Her mother is the University of Nigeria's first female registrar. According to Miss Adichie, she really never had to worry about race that much. I'm not sure, because there's global racism, but according to her biography, she first confronted racism when she hit the United States. So once she hit the United States, she wound up addressing the racism that she encountered in a novel called Americana in 2013. So she currently travels between U.S. and Nigeria teaching writing workshops because she's actually a writer. She's raised Catholic, and so she admits that her feminist views sometimes conflict with her Catholic upbringing. that I can understand, because as a born-again Christian, there are times, and that's also a different type of intersectionality based on the religion that you're born to. She stated at a Georgetown University event that religion isn't a woman-friendly institution, and that, it has historically been used to justify oppressions that are based on the idea that women aren't equal beings. Now, the first time I listened to her, and I'm going to touch on this a little bit later, she has given a series of TED Talks. If you're familiar with the internet or YouTube, you know that TED is that TED, T-E-D, capital T-E-D in red letters, is it's an app, but it's also a website similar to YouTube, but different in that it features a lot of lectures from people of different backgrounds, musical. Usually, and they're not all educated, but most of them are very successful people. And so if you're preaching, I don't want to say preaching, but if you're giving a talk at, or motivational or whatever at a different event, then you will see TED Talks. So she has called for Christians and Muslim leaders in Nigeria to preach messages of peace and togetherness. Okay. She cites the late Chinua Achebe's book, Things Fall Apart, as an inspiration. She read it at age 10. It's a book that now this is a guy, and he's a Nigerian novelist, poet, and professor and critic. And the book that she's talking about was written in 1958. And so she was able to get a hold of it at age 10. And she said, she saw portions of her life in the book, in the pages. So it inspired her to want to write. It says she doesn't mind being thought of as a feminist writer because of her worldview. Many people read her writings and, come away with the world, that she has the worldview of feminism, the belief in equality between the sexes. So she spoke two of the speeches that I saw for her on TED. One of them was called "The Danger of a Single Story," and that was back in 2009 was the date that she gave it. And it says and that particular TED Talk is one of the top 10 most viewed TED Talks of all time, with more than 15 million views. 15 would have to be more than 15, but this particular TED Talk has more than 15 million views. So she's really good. Her book, We Should All Be Feminists. Now that's the one that I saw. So I haven't read any of her work yet, but the TED Talks that she has done and different things that she has spoken on, she's very, intelligent. All of what she's saying, it's like, wow, it keeps you fixated. So I can't wait to get some of her books and read them, because they are very good. She kind of puts me in mind of a new millennium bell hooks. And I will be talking about bell hooks sometime this month. So it says her book, We Should All Be Feminists, was inspired by a speech for TEDx. And this speech was done in December of 2012. Now, if you're familiar with Beyonce's song Flawless, when you're listening to Flawless, she samples a speech from an African-sounding person. That person is Miss Adichie. So that was in 2013. So it says this speech was sampled for Beyonce's Flawless. So if you heard Flawless, then you were able to hear some of Miss Adichie's thoughts on feminism. So it says she was one of 15 women that was selected to appear on the cover of the September 2019 issue of British Vogue by guest editor Meghan. We know her as Meghan Markle, but Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. So she's a phenomenal woman. I would suggest, I'm going to be posting this like all the different places that I post. I would suggest that you look Miss Adichie up and listen to her TED Talks. She's a very intelligent person. I think you will be impressed. This month, I'm not going to just be doing, if you're wondering, like, where'd she go all the way to Africa for? This month, I want to do things a little different. I'm still going to be posting some of the feminists from history, but I also want to give some newbies some space and time this month too. Some of our new voices and younger women that are still holding down, the Black feminist or womanist movement. Anyway, my next subject is going to be Kimberly and Foster over on for the page for Harriet. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this post right now. Like I said, I will have a picture of Miss Adichie and her book We Should All Be Feminists on this particular video. So if you desire to look her up, I may even put links to her TED Talks up so you can give a listen and see how well you like her, see if you're impressed with her and everything. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this post right now because when I get done here, I got another post after this to do so that I can be caught up for the month of February. So I'm not trying not to get behind. Anyway, you guys be blessed, and I will see you on the next post. Bye-bye. Hello, you have reached the message line for Adam's Rib Media Ministry. If you would like to give me a shout out, recommend some topics for discussion, or give an opinion about a topic I've already discussed, either on my blogs or here on my podcast, leave a message and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.